don't know how I ended up in Burberry's, but I did do needlework at school, so I felt that I should be in Burberry's. I couldn't cook, so that was my other option. And I ended up there and absolutely loved it. But I didn't work there for long, probably about 4 years, but it was the best place to make money in town. I was probably 17.
And was it mainly young people that were there, or was there a mixture?
No, it was a real mixture. There was people that had been there years. The supervisors were people that worked there as mums or aunties. I mean, the supervisors were there absolutely years. There were idols, all of them. So it was all done in different sections. It was very clever how it was done. But when you went for the job, a supervisor sat with you when you made the full Mac, but in a small child's size. So that was like, you got the interview. If they thought you were good enough, then you went in and you made the Mac. And you did the full Mac. They told you how to do it, gave you all the pieces. So there were many pieces to this Mac, and you just sewed the Mac, and they decided what they thought you would be best on for your job in the factory. So it was amazing.
Because you said that you were 17 and sort of straight from school, maybe. Was it quite a good social life amongst you, like you guys after work and outside?
Yes, it was. Because we didn't really go out we did go out during the week and thought nothing of starting at 7:25, to be precise. That's what time we had to clock in by. So if you went out on a session midweek, you had to really be careful, because you were frowned upon if you were late. And that's why we started so early. We used to have a quarter of an hour break on a morning, half an hour for lunch. It was very regimented. You finished at 4:30, but on a Friday you finished at, I think it was 12:30 on a Friday. So one break and finish at 12:30. So it was a really nice long weekend. And we'd come in on a Monday and pretend we were fine when we really weren't. But I'll tell you what, we were never late. But then that was Monday. We'd work right through Mondays. Then on a Tuesday morning, if you'd done something wrong, you used to get the rejects, and you had a rail at the side of your machine. And if there was a reject, it came back to you and you had to unpick it and make it correct. And I used to have about 10 marks on my rail on a Tuesday. Even if a stitch was just slightly wonky, you got the full thing back and you had to unpick it and redo it all. So Tuesdays for me were really putting Mondays right.
How much of it was done by hand, or was it machine sewn?
A lot of it was machine, but there was certain bits that were by hand. I wouldn't have wanted that job for sure. And we had our own mechanic. So if the machine wasn't working properly, there was a full-time mechanic there as well that you used to just shout for him, and he'd come over and fix your machine. It was brilliant. They were a really, really good company to work for. Really good.
Did you realise at the time then, kind of, what did you think of the brand at the time?
Absolutely not. I wish I did. We didn't really like them. We didn't realise how famous they were. We used to have a sale about twice a year where we could go and buy a Mac, and they started at an adult's Mac was £5. And then
Can you imagine?
£5, yeah. And we used to go down and say, oh, I'll get my mum one, I'll get my dad one. I never ever got myself one because I didn't think they were trendy. I wished I had. And then when they went up to £6, everybody was furious.
Can you remember how much you got paid?
Do you know what? I can't, but I do remember that you got a small set wage, and then it was piecework that was on top of your wage. So I never left the machine. You know, I was there to make the money.
Yeah.
And it was great fun. We used to have the radio on and we'd be chatting, but never lifted my head up from the machine. And the girls I worked with were all the same mentality, you know, so we always used to just get our head down. And I knew it was good for the town, and especially for my age. That was the most money I could earn at that point.
We've got 2 Macs here, but can you just talk us through these?
So these buttons are hand sewn on. So somebody had that job of sewing the buttons on.
So the Macs that you've got here are child size
and made by us, and I don't think we did a bad job, do you, for our first attempt? Look at that. So they give you each part, so you know they all come in different parts, and then tell you what to do with them, show you. It was a lovely lady. It happened to be my friend Rosie's mum, who was the one. She was such a lovely woman. She was a supervisor, but that was her job. And they just gave you the parts and told you what to do with them and watched you as you did them, and worked out where they thought you would be best placed in the factory.
Children's Mac Burberry actually hasn't changed that much from
this is really similar.
These have still got the brown buckles, the belt, the lining.
And the yoke, so the adults one has a big yoke along here.
Explain what a yoke is for people that don't know.
Yeah, so at the back, this bit that overlaps.
It's just an iconic design, isn't it?
It is.